Hunger Seder is an opportunity to explain not just to Jews but to people of all backgrounds and all faiths the importance of childhood hunger in particular. It does not recognize a particular background or race or religion. It's a universal human problem, and that's why it's so important that we use this venue of a Seder, which is an educational opportunity for everyone to understand the serious ramifications of childhood hunger in our country. People who are here represent tremendous backgrounds. They come from the business world. They come from the faith world. They come from the world of politics. They come from the world of food banks, of food rescue. And so we are bringing people together today in a way we haven't done until now. And so it's really powerful. And there are really 4 pieces that we're going to cover in our Seder today, and they're all in bold. They're top of page 2. If we could read the bold words together. Let's read together. We will work to ensure that everyone has access to enough nutritious food. We will learn why so many children in this country struggle with hunger. We will urge our policymakers to make it a priority to end childhood hunger. We will create a world where all Americans and all people are free from hunger. And so we turn now to page 4, which would be a green vegetable, the fruit of the soil. Noting that it's spring, noting the power of the opportunity to eat vegetables, to eat fruits, to eat those things that are healthy. Normally when you attend a regular traditional Passover Seder, you walk into the home and there's smells that are wonderful. This Seder in particular will have no smells. There'll be no smell of brisket or matzo ball soup or any of the other kugels that we're accustomed to, which we'll experience at the Passover Seder itself. And the power of that is to really understand that hunger is a serious issue, and it would seem almost inauthentic or insincere to have food at this Seder when we're talking about such a serious and important issue in our country. The power of being at Yad Ezra, not doing this in an auditorium or at a hotel, but being here at Yad Ezra in this setting where food is given out in a way that respects the dignity of individuals, really speaks to the power of what we're trying to understand and what we're trying to do. We want to be surrounded by food and recognize that this is food that's given out to those in need. This is the bread of poverty which our forefathers ate in the land of Egypt. Let all those who are hungry come and eat with us. Let all those who are in need come and share our meal. This year we are here. Next year we may be in the land of Israel. This year we are still slaves. Next year we will all be free. When we hear the traditional formulation of the 4 questions, Ma nishtana halayla hazeh mikol halelot, the kids are asking, why is this night different from all other nights? It's a powerful question. It's an important question, and we use the Seder experience, the education of the Seder experience, to actually show how different this night is. There are questions that are focused on childhood hunger, why does it exist, and what can we do to help solve the problem? And the truth of the matter is we need our children to be educated, to be proponents of this issue, because they can relate to the fact that they're able to eat, and children out there are not able to be as lucky as they are. More than 16 million children, 1 in 5, face food insecurity and live in U.S. households that lack the means to get enough nutritious food on a regular basis. And this means they are not free, certainly not in the Jewish sense of the understanding of Passover and of freedom. And then we also firmly know that childhood hunger is indeed a solvable problem. It is a solvable problem, and it is upon all of us, elected officials, faith leaders, business leaders, citizens of this nation, to work together in a meaningful way to find the solution to this problem. So it's at this point in our traditional Seder where we talk about the 10 plagues. The 10 plagues where we actually dip our fingers into our wine or grape juice and we take out some of our joy, recognizing that the Egyptians suffered and we don't want anyone to suffer on our behalf, but that these plagues were brought by God in order to help the Israelites get out of slavery. Today at our Hunger Seder, we're looking at a different set of plagues. The plagues we see today are not punishments from God, but ones of our own doing, the awful unintended results of our own actions and creations. So on page 13, let's read together these modern day 10 plagues when we're talking about food insecurity. Number 1, a single mother who gives the last bits of food to her toddler while she goes hungry. 2, a brother and sister in a rural community who live too far away to participate in the summer feeding program and miss meals during the summer months. 3, a military family that struggles to make ends meet on the salary of a low-ranking enlisted soldier resorts to anonymously getting a monthly food box at the local pantry to feed their children. And our tradition is so focused on action. It's one thing to learn, and that's an important first step, but it's really about what happens afterward. And so many people came up to me at the end of the Seder and said, I'm ready, let's move forward, let's go. And we've got many different opportunities available. I've been working with the Congressional Hunger Caucus in Washington, and Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence said she's ready to join that Hunger Caucus.
Being a member of Congress, I felt the call to action. Sitting there at the table, no food is being served. And to just remember that there are those that it's not an event, it's their reality. So my call to action, going back to Congress, is to be very focused, use my voice, and make sure that I'm passing laws that will address these issues. That's my job, and that's what I take today. If I can do more, and one more child is taken off that list, then I have done the right thing.
I'm participating in today's Hunger Seder because, first of all, it's named in memory of Emery Klein, who was a close friend for a long time and cared about community and cared about others who needed people to help them. So I'm here in his memory. Being at this Seder where you're talking about hunger is a reminder of how many people in our community take for granted what some of us do about whether there'll be food on the table. So I'm glad that there isn't food on the table. I'm glad that we're going to talk about hunger.
When you think about 1 in 4 kids in our state are food insecure, they don't know where their next meal's coming from. And in our state, particularly in the winter months, it makes you think really different about snow days. Because if they've been at home on Saturday and Sunday without enough food, and then Monday's a snow day, that's 3 days that they haven't had food.
I'm so pleased that we were able to co-host this Seder again this year with the JCRC, Jewish Relations Community Council, and our good friend Rabbi Krakoff and Joel Jacob from the Bottle Crew. This Seder is a wonderful opportunity for the community to get together under one roof and really think about the issue of hunger. The Seder, which is one of the most celebrated of all Jewish holidays, centers around sitting at the table and having a huge meal. So the idea that we have a Hunger Seder where absolutely no food is presented is just so symbolic. It really hits home the issue of food insecurity in the United States.